Hi guys, how are you all today morning? Good morning. Today is 11th October 2023. My name is T.S.V. Raghavan and I live in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, India. This is my spiritual vlog on YouTube. Hardan, 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 Haribol, TRSV, Nectar, NECTAR, Nectar. In this particular vlog, in all my previous videos, we have been discussing about the knowledge and information that we have gleaned through the study of spiritual books, scriptures, contemplation on the material universe, and meditation on the spiritual universe. This particular video in this vlog is no exception to that rule. In fact, it is a mere continuation of all that we have been doing in all my previous videos in this vlog. Kindly subscribe to this vlog and press the bell icon so that I may keep reminding you of my past, present and future videos. So let us continue with the topic for discussion for today's video. Today we are going to talk about one very important abbreviation which is usually prevalent in the society as far as the psyche of a human living entity is concerned. This abbreviation is known as S&M. S stands for sadism and M for masochism. These two are qualities of a part of the psyche of almost every average human living entity, whether male or female, in this society at any given time. It is this particular abbreviation and this term that we are going to discuss in detail in this particular video. S. Sadism. This word is derived from the psyche of one person or human living entity who lived in the 19th or 18th century in France, Europe, and this guy's name was Count Marquis de la Sade or Count Marquis de Sade. This particular very wealthy and affluent person had a very strange habit of giving or inflicting physical, mental, or psychological torture to all who came under his influence. Hence, his irrepressible quality was called sadism, born out of this man's name, Marquis de Sade. Similarly, there was another person who also lived in Europe, who had a very strange habit or psyche. This guy used to enjoy pain, both physical, mental, as well as psychological, and enjoy this to such an extent that this particular quality or psyche of any human being was named after his own name, Masoch. So this quality was called masochism, and the other quality was called sadism. We are going to combine both these qualities, and there is a reason behind our doing so. In the general term, in the local language in the society, S and M are clubbed together, and though they are an extension of the human psyche of all human living entities, both male and female, actually it is known as a sexual kink born out of pure physical lust. This is not used in a very flowery term. It is, in fact, a derogatory term. This is used for people who get a sexual high, an adrenaline, a testosterone, or their dopamine in the brain is activated while either inflicting or enjoying physical, mental, or psychological pain. These people have an addiction for both. In fact, it is said that this quality is present in every average human living entity. It is not an exception in anyone, but it is very evident to the public in some cases. Besides, the majority of the society enjoys watching sadism and masochism to some degree or the other. Some enjoy this more and some do not. But it is a fact that a majority of this society enjoys sadism, masochism, or observing or watching these activities in public or in private. That is precisely the reason why pornographic videos and magazines exhibit both these qualities in human beings for the sake of this public. Sadism is where a person loves to inflict pain on his or her sexual partner to get a sexual high himself or herself. Similarly, masochism is used by anyone to make or force his or her own sexual partner to inflict physical, mental, or psychological pain on this person because it is thus that this person enjoys a sexual high. It has been observed that those who are used to sadism are either male or have very masculine tendency even though they are actually females. That is, masculine males and masculine females enjoy on an average to practice sadism. On the other hand, females, feminine species, and those men who are feminine by nature enjoy the masochistic pain when it is inflicted on them during a sexual partnership or activity indulged with another sexual partner. These two give a high to both types of species. Moreover, a sadist by nature is only 75% sadist and 25% masochist, whereas a masochist is only 75% masochist and 25% sadist. In other words, a person who is used to a sexual high on practicing sadism may, for a sexual change in his or her experience, enjoy masochism also for a change, and vice versa. That is, a person who has for a long time endured only pain or suffering, physical, psychological, or mental pain, may, in some exceptional cases, for a change, become a sadist and inflict the same on his or her sexual partner. Similarly, masochism includes one more very high and severe trait. This trait is known as flagellation. A person who enjoys flagellation is called a flagellant. Flagellation means enjoying the physical pain inflicted by caning, flogging, and whipping by a sexual partner or by some other person on our own body. That is, a masochist who is also a flagellant does not mind being caned, whipped, or flogged by another sexual partner, so that whether or not the other partner enjoys this experience, this flagellant certainly enjoys the pain that has been inflicted by that sexual partner on this masochist and flagellant gross body. You may not believe it, but there have been cases where a person has claimed that he or she enjoyed the physical or mental pain, but also the mental trauma and shame that arose because of infliction of such pain. We may not believe this, but this is quite a common trait in many human living entities in this society. There have been several cases where people have gone to the prostitutes, call girls, and whores only to enjoy these two types of sexual kinks. There have been instances or numerous instances where Many people have accepted that they get a sexual high only when they are either practicing sadism or they are practicing masochism. Not only this, believe it or not, those people who are sadists are able to recognize dormant masochists, and those who are masochists, believe it or not, can recognize dormant sadists in this society. This is indeed a fact, probably because there is another term in our society. It is called opposites attract. There have been several case histories where we have seen people enjoying either sadism or masochism. We will try to cite some of such case histories. There is one particular function which is observed by a particular religion and its fanatic devotees. On the day of that function, many ardent devotees of their own God inflict pain on their own gross body and enjoy the physical as well as mental trauma and pain only to appease their own gods. In that process, they flagellate themselves with whips made of metal cords. Their whole body, back and front, gets bloodied and the skin peels off, but these guys, in their euphoria, keep flagellating themselves. There have been instances where many of these ardent devotees who are in a sexual high are actually rescued by the lookers on who feel that in their euphoria they may inflict fatal pain on themselves. Similarly, I know of one particular lady who was born and brought up in a neighboring country called Pakistan. This lady is actually a writer and a journalist. You may not believe it, but this woman was addicted to masochism and flagellation. So much so that though she was born in a particular very decent family and had a decent educational upbringing, she had the short sightedness of leaving her own very decent husband and their only daughter and only to marry a confirmed sadist and a feudal lord. This man was several years older than this girl, but somehow, just as we mentioned before, opposites do attract. This lady got attracted to this feudal and rough and sadistic person who used to physically and mentally torture her for 14 long years when they remained as husband and wife in Pakistan. Believe it or not, During this process, this lady gave birth to a couple of children from the same sadist. Not only that, she suffered so much from this person that she had had her own fill of torture, both physical and mental, and so she wrote her own experiences in a book called My Feudal Lord. It is very strange to find that, ironically, it is the masochists who record their sexual experiences and not the sadists. Indirectly, whether you like it or not, sadists, despite their own kink, are extremely ashamed of their quality and this particular trait which gives them a sexual high, and so they want to keep it a secret all for themselves. In that case, these guys hardly record their own experiences in sexual kinks of sadism, whereas masochists enjoy even that pain of recording and publishing their own experiences in masochism. One of the best cases is a book called Papillon, written by one person called Henri Charrier from France, who wrote it in Venezuela and published in Granada Publications. This particular gruesome and extremely cruel story is the autobiography of none other than this person himself. This person has recorded in detail the physical torture inflicted on him and on other prisoners by the French policemen during the period 1930 and 1943. Sadism and masochism both are extremely dangerous and negative qualities. It is better that anyone who is addicted to these two must come out of it sooner or later by getting some psychiatrist treatment, because it is not only a psychological but also sexual aberration which may lead to calamities and tragedies. It is quite possible that a sadist may become so excited that he or she may kill his or her sexual partner. Same is the case with masochists. They may be enjoying this pain so much that they may not know where to stop. As they say, in many cases, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Mentally, one person may be enjoying this pain, but his or her gross body may revolt against it, as a result of which there may be fatalist incidents where the same masochist dies while enjoying this sexual kink. That is precisely the reason why those ardent devotees in a particular religion are rescued by onlookers, while these guys are inflicting pain on them on their own bodies with whips and cords more than they can or their physical body can take or endure. Sadism and masochism are very important psyches which have to be avoided like a plague by every human being. Yes, there have been instances where some people enjoy only watching it and not practicing it themselves. Even here, these guys who are enjoying this must take care to prevent any untoward calamity or disaster. Excess of everything is bad. Similarly, sadists who turn masochists must, while enjoying that masochistic pain, realize what they have been doing to their own sexual partners till then. And masochists who practice sadism as an exception must realize the shame and the trauma that they themselves have to go through while inflicting such physical or mental pain. This is one particular theory which I wanted to discuss with you people and with the public because this is a very important subject in the psyche of everyone in this society. If we are directly or indirectly suffering from either sadism or masochism, we must come out of such sexual kink as far as possible or as fast as possible. There have been an instance which is very interesting and I would like to share it with you. There was one very great political leader who was almost worshipped by his own followers as well as this whole country because this guy preached non-violence. Not only that, this guy wrote at length about his own experiences of violence when many other policemen, etc., inflicted physical and mental pain on him through batons, whips, canes, etc. While the public which read this winced and writhed and wept, this guy had written about all this in quite detail. Because it concerned this leader, the public which could not believe that such a thing can happen to any ordinary mortal began worshipping this person and considering him a hero more so because despite going through such agony, this guy preached non-violence to the world. However, now the researchers in that country are coming to a conclusion that this guy was a closet flagrant and masochist who enjoyed a sexual high when he was enjoying or suffering such physical or mental trauma. This guy was not as great as the public thought he is. In fact, this guy turned his own sexual kink in such a manner that people started thinking that he is a hero while actually he was not. He was only enjoying what was inflicted upon him, both physical, mental, as well as psychological. This is a very important example which all of us must know about and realize that we must not jump into any conclusion because of what others say. There may be people who do not mean what they say and do not say what they mean. The psyche of every human living entity is quite complicated. There are several instances where we are not able to understand a person all our lives while that person is actually laughing at our own ignorance and innocence. That is the reason why there is one proverb: don't judge a person by the way he or she lives. Judge him or her too by the way he or she dies. This particular leader, who was worshipped by his followers all over the world, met his own gory end when he was shot dead in a temple complex by an assailant. If only this person had been so great as he claimed he was, then he would not have come to such a sorry end. This shows that the nature, destiny, karma, etc. of a particular person knows better about that person than we ordinary mortals do. Hence, we should all look within ourselves to find out these unpleasant traits in us and weed them out as fast as possible. That is the only way to get complete self realization, liberation from repeated births and deaths, and final delivery as evolved souls to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is all I wanted to say in this particular video about S and M. Kindly let me know what you think of my talk on this particular matter. Please give me your own expert views, thoughts, ideas, and opinions so that I may blend everything together for the sake of the society. Before concluding, I wish to tell you that I am also a published author with Amazon Kindle and paperback. I write on spiritualism, fiction, and assorted subjects. Spiritualism happens to be my favorite subject. Till we meet in my next video, it is good morning from TSV Raghavan.